Hey, welcome back to our live show. Even though Cinco de Mayo is this Saturday, we wanted to get a little jump on it and enjoy some great tasting food to celebrate the occasion today. Local Richmond executive chef Zach Wingold is here in the studio to make some fresh tuna tostadas, and we welcome him back to the show. Zach, wonderful to see you, man.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hola, and happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
All right, tuna tostadas. So what are they?
So this is kind of a play off of a dish that I had in Mexico City recently. It's not quite the same, but it's got the same, flavor profiles, and I wanted to recreate it for Cinco de Mayo.
It looks amazing. When were you down in Mexico City?
I was there in March.
What was that food like down there?
A lot different than Oaxaca. I went to Oaxaca before, and now I went to Mexico City, and it's a little more modern. You have a lot of rising chefs there, and there's a lot of street food. And the street food is probably the best food.
Probably the best food,
best
right?
Food, yes.
You could probably take some of those ingredients and bring them back here and apply them to the restaurants here. So what do we have?
Exactly. So what I like.
Beautiful piece of tuna.
Absolutely. This is ahi tuna. Actually, it's a sashimi grade tuna, and to get this texture, it was actually previously frozen. Not many people know that, but when it slices a little bit better, and it's actually a little bit more tender. It breaks apart a little bit easier, so it doesn't. It's not so chewy.
What should we be looking for when we're in the grocery store or maybe the fish shop and looking for some tuna? Is all tuna created equal?
No, not at all. In Japan, it's a prize fish, but in Mexico, you don't really see it that often, but what you want to look for is the freshness, obviously. If it's a whole tuna, you want to look at the eyes, but you also want to look at the firmness of it and the color.
Firmness and color.
Yes, it should almost look fake. It almost looks fake.
Like this, right here. It almost looks plasticky.
Right.
If there is such a thing.
Right.
Let's get this started.
So what I've done is slice it very thin against the grain. That way it doesn't pull off and it's not stringy when you're eating it.
Yeah.
So first.
That's how you do that, huh?
Yep. So any type of
prevent the strings.
Yeah. Okay. Any type of meat you want to slice it against the grain, and that way it's a little bit easier to eat. So I'm gonna get you to. These are the tostadas. They're just a fried white corn tortilla.
So good.
And this is a chipotle aioli. So it's chipotle chili with a little bit of mayonnaise, lime juice. So you're going to take this one. I'll do one for you.
Okay. A little spice, a little kick with the chipotle?
Yeah, a little bit of spice and nice
we can
creaminess.
We can make
and then you can finish those too.
All right.
Meanwhile, I have leeks. This is actually a leek. It's a very mild onion. So what I've done is taken the white part off, cut it in half, and then cut it into strips. And what we're gonna do with it is fry it. So when you fry it, it kind of brings out a nice aroma, and it gives a nice crunch to the dish.
Is it gonna be on high, Zach?
This is gonna be on very high. As you can see, it's popping. It's about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got it turned up all the way on this portable fryer, but 375 degrees.
What kind of oil do you like to use?
I like to use canola oil because it's very neutral. It doesn't add any off flavors. Peanut oil is also a good one to use, but that does have that peanut flavor when you fry it in peanut oil. With
those very thin, does it matter how long those spend in the oil?
Well, obviously, if it's thinner, you want to fry it less. But these are kind of little. They're almost identical, but you want to fry for about 30 to 45 seconds.
That's it, 45
seconds.
You can do that.
And then the most important step is when
delicious.
Yeah, you can smell that aroma. It's got a hint of garlic, and then it's just like a mild onion. So,
are these tostada shells that you have here, Zach, are they readily available if you want to purchase them?
Yes, these are just a little bit smaller, so they're not, not so much, and they also look a little bit better on the plate.
Sure.
So I have these just, letting the oil kind of soak into the paper towel. That way it doesn't get greasy. And then meanwhile, I'm going to take the tuna.
Is this what would you say, about a pound of tuna?
The whole thing, yeah, it was about a pound. So it's roughly about 4 to 5 ounces for this dish. I mean, if you're making it at home, you can obviously do as much as you want. Try to get these separated, and then I have a marinade here that has a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of red chili flake, and some lime juice.
If people are concerned about maybe the bite that this has, they can dial some of that red chili or the chipotle back, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, the chipotle in this dish will probably be a little bit spicier than this marinade.
Does this marinade or the tuna hold up in the marinade?
It does. So you don't want to do this ahead of time. that'll make
do it ahead of time.
Don't do this ahead. Don't marinate it ahead of time, because it'll cook and be a ceviche after a while. After about an hour or so, this will cook with the acidity from the lime juice.
Is that so?
Yes.
Wow.
So
not that ceviche is bad, but just not for this dish.
Right. So you actually want to taste the tuna. So we're gonna take avocado.
Oh, look at this presentation, man.
And then slide it on.
And this is the healthy fat that we were talking about, right, with avocado?
Yes. And adds another creamy texture and obviously the color.
These appetizers, or would this be served as a meal, Zach?
Either or. If you can share it between 3 people. You know, tostadas, what I like about them is they are messy, but I think the messier the better.
Exactly.
You know? So now I'm gonna.
Are these pretty popular south of the border, Zach? The tostadas?
These are not a traditional dish in Mexico, which is what I really like about it. They don't use a lot of, like I said, they don't use a lot of raw tuna in Mexico. Most of their fish that's served is either grilled or cooked, or it's served as ceviche.
Man, you can really smell the freshness on this.
Yes.
Are they done? We need to sprinkle them with a little something.
A couple more things. This is the fried leeks. Go right on top. And they get nice and tall. Presentation.
Again, 30, 45 seconds in that fryer, you're done, right?
Right.
What do you like to sprinkle?
This is a little bit of fresh cilantro. And then just to add a little bit of pop, this is a sea salt mixed with some chili powder. So it's a...
I like the way you think, man. So nice kick right here. And then you're ready to serve.
Ready to go.
We'll try one of these bad boys, too. Oh, like you said, they're a little messy, right? Yeah. Man, let's try to do this. I want to get this. All right, Jess, I know you're licking your chops over there, aren't you? I know. Ready?
there you go. Yes. Not one bite. Oh, there he goes. He went for it. He did the whole thing. That's what happened there. Yay! I think that means it was real good. Great job, Zach. Happy Cinco de Mayo.